Our first inductee is Johnny Vance. Born on October 5th, 1937, to John and Harriet Lowry Vance, John C. Vance II followed in the footsteps of his father in nearly every way, including enshrinement in the National Sprint Car Hall of Fame. As an owner, Johnny's father fielded cars for Hall of Famers Bob Carey, Wilbur Shaw, Maury Rose, and Travis Spider Webb. As a leader, he took an active role with the Central States Racing Association and the AAA, the American Automobile Association. The elder Vance was also a successful Dayton, Ohio businessman. He purchased Standard Venetian Blind Company and promptly renamed the firm Aristocrat Products. In his life, he drew a firm line between his vocation and his avocation, and it was a lesson he made sure to pass on to his eager son. Johnny was bitten by the racing bug at an early age, too. He was enthralled by the sport. After all, what could be anything more exciting and romantic than to get behind the wheel of a race car and stand in front of an appreciative crowd? Hardly anything. So while his father would let him grab the wheel and put a little heat in the engine, the minute he so much as burped the throttle, he got the look from Dad. There was no way he was going to be allowed to walk down this path. But it was a family friend, an AAA and USAC official eventually, named Russ Clendenin, who first suggested that Johnny might make a great official. It took a bit of prodding, but soon Vance took the task on like he did everything in life, seriously and with an attention to detail. By the early 1960s, he started as a technical chairman for USAC and later was a steward at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. Who knows? It is quite possible that he could have attained the rank of chief steward at IMS. However, the racing gods had another plan for him. He was a busy man. He was at the helm of Aristocrat Products by 1963, but by staying active as an official, he remained close to auto racing. Then life took a dramatic turn. In 1980, future Hall of Famer Rich Vogler captured the USAC Sprint Car Championship for owner Don Siebert. However, sadly, just before the 1981 season was launched, Siebert suffered a fatal heart attack. It left the defending king without a ride. Clendenin suggested to Vance that he take over the squad. Perhaps skillfully, Russ had tapped into Johnny's innate desire to continue his father's legacy as an owner. Whatever the motivation, soon thereafter, Vance was the owner of a sprint car and a Silver Crown operation. Vogler would score Vance's first Silver Crown win right here at Knoxville in June, and as a sprint car owner at Eldora in July. From the 1981 season on, Johnny Vance was a steady presence on the USAC scene. He was there for over 3 decades. The drivers who sit in a Vance-prepared car are truly a who's who of the greatest short track stars that include Jim Mahoney, Gene Lee Gibson, Joe Saldana, Tracy Hines, Steve Butler, Dave Steele, Steve Kinzer, Jack Hewitt, Kenny Irwin Jr., Cole Witt, Tony Elliott, Jimmy McCune, Brian Tyler, Jack Hottenschild, Tyler Walker, Ryan Newman, and Damian Gardner. Sprint car titles came in 1990 with Steve Butler, and in 1998, Vance and Jeff Walker teamed up to help Tony Elliott win his first of 2 USAC titles. All told, Vance-owned cars won 44 USAC sprint car races and 8 in the Silver Crown Series. He is already a member of the USAC Hall of Fame. One of Vance's enduring contributions occurred while he was a USAC official. He felt USAC needed a premier event at Eldora Speedway, which just sat north of his Dayton home. Working with Earl Baltus, the 4 Crown Nationals was born. In a great irony, in the inaugural event, Vance was on the premises of a Silver Crown Entrance Championship, but he lacked a driver. He turned to a young and promising second-generation hand from the outlaw ranks named Steve Kinzer. Steve would win the sprint car portion of the event and then top the field in the big ground pounders, securing the title for his owner. Today, those who compete in the Four Crown Nationals are fighting to add their name to the Johnny Vance Trophy. Johnny Vance took pride in his racing operation and his business, and it showed. He was guided by a quest for excellence, and in that quest, he succeeded far more than he failed. What numbers do not show are how much he cared for his drivers and how much they learned from him. And that extended to more than racing. The late Dave Steele told me that Nance taught him about business and how you must go about your craft. One day, Steele was working in Johnny's garage when he accidentally spilled a little oil. In a flash, Johnny was on the scene with a shop rag cleaning the spill up. Turning to Dave, he said, "You never know if Roger Penske is going to drop by." The comparison is very apt. Johnny Vance was the epitome of class and professionalism. His cars were elegant and well prepared at all times. Occasionally, the Silver Crown car makes an appearance, and when it does, it always has a top-notch hand at the controls. At his passing on June 22nd, 2017, Vance left his wife of 30 years, Fadia, and 4 children, and he left an incredible mark on racing and life. Here to accept the award, the induction, is Jonathan Hadia, his stepson. Jonathan? Oh, Fadia, good. John, first of all, I'm going to tell you right now, Fadia, that my wife is just going to love these blinged out shoes. Those are stellar. You know, Dave and I were talking. You were in the pits as long as I could remember next to those race cars, and you just absolutely were part of the team.
Yeah, no, since I've been 5 years old. I think everybody in this room knows that real sprint car racers don't really play sports. After school, you go work on race cars. So my whole life, I never really did anything but work on race cars, and I know I don't look the part because I'm a lot darker than a lot of people from Dayton, Ohio, but I always kind of stood out. But I've been going to races since I've been 5 years old, working on race cars, and I knew nothing else in life but racing.
Fadia, one of the things that you told me when we talked for an article a few years ago, and really there's even a deeper line of story there that I'm not going to share because it's not appropriate in this particular setting, but the deepness by which he cared for drivers, even those who might be a little flawed. He understood their flaws and he stood by them because he thought they were worthy of his attention and detail.
So he really never fired any race driver.
How about that? Did you want to fire him?
No.
You were always there too, and you shared that passion with him.
I was. He was a father figure to all the race drivers, yes.
You've stayed in the sports business, however. You may know this, but Jonathan, who's an attorney, represents a lot of race drivers. One just took a big drink of milk at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway.
Yeah, Joseph Newgarden, a good friend and a client, just won the Indianapolis 500, and that was a pretty cool feat. It was nice to be part of growing up in open-wheel racing. You know, that's the pinnacle, and I experienced it with Elio Castroneves 2 years ago as a client, and now with Joseph, so it's pretty cool.
I mentioned and I always felt that the comparison with Roger Penske was absolutely apt because everything was pristine and perfect and everything was in order. This was no slipshod operation he ran. This was like the business. It had to be done right.
Yeah, he's probably grinning and a little bit pissed off at me because I forgot a belt, so I don't have my shirt tucked in. He would be shaking his head. But I forgot my belt, so here we are. This would not have went over well with him, but he was the epitome of a perfectionist for sure.
Fadia, the other part of this is racing is a competitive business. It's a hard-nosed business. It's a bottom-line business, etc. Sometimes it's people that just have that single-mindedness and toughness to succeed. But, you know, he had a soft spot for your dogs.
Oh my God, yes. Anytime he sees somebody homeless with a dog, he'll take them, put them in a hotel, give them money just because they have a dog.
That happened a lot.
That happened a lot.
It did.
I know you both wrote me and said you were very excited. This was a big day, and it's a well-deserved day. I hope it's meant to you now what you thought it would be.
Yeah, I don't get nervous often. I'm nervous and I'm sad and I'm excited. Sad he's not here, obviously, but I know he's with us. And before I forget, I want to congratulate the rest of the inductees with us here today. And I'd like to thank the board and the committee and you guys, Bob and Dave as well. Sorry, I blanked for a second. But this is really, really special. And just sitting here, it's building as the day goes on.
Well, we're awfully glad you made it. We know you're in San Diego a lot of the time. Congratulations. It's a good day.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right, let's hear it for the Vance family.